So we're back now, and we're going to take a look really quickly at the software that we need to install. And I have a link here that I've added to Unit X, and I'm going to get probably deeper into this in the next session, so I will repeat this. But for those of you that feel like you're savvy enough to proceed with this, you can go ahead and take these steps on your own if you feel confident in installing this software. But basically, when we code Python, or really any programming language, there's usually two different major components that you have to install in order to get it to work. First and foremost, we need to have the Python language libraries on our system, right? And normally, like, you know, if I didn't have this distribution that I would use that does it all at the same time, I can go to the Python official language site, which is python.org, by the way, and that is going into the chat, by the way, if you guys are too lazy to type it. So this is the official repository of the Python language. You can download the language libraries from here for all the platforms if you wish, and you can see the current version is 3.12.6. And when you download it and install it, it does actually have tools inside that allow you to code the language, but I'm not a really huge fan for intro people approaching it this way. If you're really savvy, go for it, right? But for most of my people, I'm going to say, no, don't do it this way, right? The other really good thing about this particular website is the fact that there's a lot of documentation about Python. If you want to update just the language libraries, this is where you'd come to do it. And there's also a huge community base here that has lots of threaded conversations that talks about how to solve certain problems or work with certain tools. So very helpful site to bookmark. How often do I visit? Hardly ever, by the way. You know, this is not my go-to. But the one that we have designated here is the Anaconda distribution of Python. So I'm going to, oh, isn't that wonderful? Of course, it doesn't work. See if we can launch a new tab. Oh, there we go. All right. So let me talk about what this is. Anaconda is a package distribution of Python and a bunch of tools that are particularly well suited for people learning how to program, working in data science, artificial intelligence, and other scientific fields, right? And it has a bunch of different tools embedded into it. And once you get to this screen, and once again, if that link isn't working for you, like it wasn't working for me, here it is in the chat. You can go to this screen. They do try to get you to register. By the way, I don't know if you noticed, but there's a little tiny thing here that says skip registration. So you can just click on that. And then you will get to this particular screen here where you can download the installers for whichever operating system you're working with. And if you notice here real carefully, you know, Windows has one installer, Mac has several, depending on which installation procedure you want to use. So either if you have a Mac, you either have an Intel chip or an M series chip. And if you're not sure, go to your Apple menu, click about this Mac, and it should tell you what your CPU is. But you got, if you don't install the right one, it basically won't work. And then there's also a Linux installer as well. It's a pretty simple installation. What I will do next time is we can demonstrate it during class. There's no rush to do this. We're not coding yet, right? But I know some of you are eager, so here is the information to do it on your own. Once you do have it installed, you will get basically an interface that looks like this, that launches in a browser. You can see a whole bunch of tools are loading in the background, and it'll probably nag me to update, I'm sure. All right. And it basically puts you in this like browser-like interface that allows you to launch all the tools that either come with Anaconda or are optional for Anaconda. The primary tools that we're going to end up using are the Spider IDE, and the Jupyter Notebook. Those are the two. Most everything will be done with Spider, but you will notice that if you have Visual Studio Code, you can use that product. If you're familiar with PyCharm from JetBrains, you can use that product. And please don't freak out to this right now, but I am going to revisit this next week and do a deeper dive. I'm doing this mostly for those that are eager to get like loading and doing something. Here you go. Why do we use a package distribution? And basically because Anaconda comes not only with all these tools built in, but it already is preloaded with a bunch of standard libraries for doing data analysis, artificial intelligence, charting, graphing, web stuff. It's all built in already without having to download additional plugins. It's kind of like a one shop and go thing. And then if you find special tools you want to add, you can add them incrementally as you need them. I'm going to end this video here, and I do see that I have a question. So I'm going to answer that. So this video ends here.